Alright guys, so with the release of Frost Queen Cookie's Crystal Jam, there has been a lot of questions on certain cookies that might just come back because the Frost comp is back, right? And the first one that I actually went over a couple of days ago was Profit, alright? So Profit was one of our first subject of testing that did not work out very well. But next one that a lot of people have still been asking me is, hey HyRool, can Pinecone Cookie right over here come back into the meta? Because if you didn't realize, Pinecone also did receive a quote-unquote slight buff with the new element of ice added into their skill. Alright, so they do have the ice type, which also means that, you know, Frost Queen Cookie right over here is able to allow Pinecone to do more damage, as well as allow, you know, Pinecone's attack to sometimes freeze the enemy as well. Alright, so we got this team right over here that I've been testing out, and it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I'm actually surprised on how, you know, it works out. It's not the best, but you guys can definitely try it out here. So let me go over the topping with you guys right now. So first of all, it's going to be our Pinecone with 5 of the same raspberry. You want Pinecone to do damage, and you want Pinecone to heal a little bit once you do use their skill. All right, so they do also heal. So if you guys didn't know, they kind of heal and kind of gain extra HP as well based on the attack as well as the max HP. So that's the reason why I'm going same raspberry, and of course with the attack. So we're going with the attack, damage resist, and cooldown 2.8 at least in order to get that 3-second start. You want Pinecone to start off the battle, and then the attack speed a little bit in order to at least get the enchanted robe buff. Alright, next one is going to be our Icicle Yeti, 5 of the Swift Chocolate here. Of course, safeguard, so no damage resist, just cooldown. And then we got attack speed and crit attack. So Icicle Yeti is also going to be getting that actually enchanted robe buff. Alright, you don't have to give it to Icicle Yeti. You can give it to someone like Snow Sugar, you can give it to Frost Queen, or even Parfait. I would say these two are probably going to be better. But we have our Snow Sugar now with 3 Singing Raspberry, 2 Solid Almond, kind of similar to what I've already shared with you guys. We have the attack as well as the damage resist and cooldown if possible. Next one is going to be our Frost Queen, because we don't have the whistle buff or we don't have any of the other, you know, extra stuff that makes, you know, Frost Queen get extra damage resist or anything like that. We want to focus on Frost Queen staying alive. So we're going with the damage resist and the 8% cooldown if possible. And the last one is going to be Parfait. Parfait is actually going to be very, very important in allowing Pinecone to do the damage. Alright, so we are going with the 5 Solid Almond here, focus on damage resist and around 8% cooldown if possible. You can go with the full Swift Chocolate, but there are times when, you know, Parfait does die, so that's the reason why I'm going with this. Alright, so Enchanted Robe buff is again on our Pinecone, which is going to be really, really important. And, you know, without Parfait, it's kind of hard. The reason why I say this is because Parfait gives that debuff immunity. Yes, you are able to use Burnt Cheese, then you run out of a little bit of the healing, because Burnt Cheese doesn't really heal, just focuses on the debuff immunity on one of the highest attacking cookie, which is going to be Pinecone in this case. So here we go, guys. Let me show you guys this team in action now inside of the arena. Alright, so first team is going to be the debuff immunity team. Is this going to be hard? Kinda, but here we go. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we have Pinecone here using the skill. We got our, you know, Icicle Yeti using skill as well. So right here is important. You do not want Pinecone to receive any frost stacks. Why? Because once Pinecone receives frost stacks, the attack speed is reduced, and then that prevents, you know, Pinecone from receiving the enchanted robe buff. And that's the reason why, you know, Parfait is actually really, really important in this case. All right. And, you know, you can see right here that because we have frost stacks, you know, slowing down Pinecone, you saw, you know, Parfait getting like enchanted robe buffs and stuff like that. You really don't want that. You know, you want Pinecone to do as much damage as possible, all right, with the enchanted robe buff. So right there, the golden cheese on the enemy team did, you know, kind of nuke our Pinecone, because Pinecone does have the highest amount of attack, you know, attack stat, which naturally makes Pinecone the target. But you're going to be able to see that Pinecone did quite a lot of damage, all right? So Against this comp, because of the fact that you have Burnt Cheese, who's going to be immune to stuns, you're actually going to be doing a little bit more damage as well. Because if you remember Pinecone's skill, Pinecone also does extra damage to cookies that are going to be having that resistance or immunity. And then of course you have Frost Queen just doing an insane amount of damage. Snow Sugar kind of just, doing consistent damage. And because of the fact that these guys are all going to be Ice type cookie, except Parfait, Icicle Yeti is also going to be able to heal extra as well. All right, so I kind of talked a lot in that previous battle, so here we go. This one is actually going to be a little bit more towards the Frost cookies with the Snow Sugar and Frost Queen. So here we go. All right, guys. So this time around, it is going to be the with the fettuccine as well as the Icicle Yeti. Parfait is going to be able to put that debuff immunity, allowing our Pinecone to just target the backline cookies pretty much here. And you were able to see that the Snow Sugar is already gone from the enemy team. All right. And then Pinecone also able to gain that extra attack and health, or healing and then the health. And Parfait should be able to right here put that debuff immunity, getting rid of the backline again. And then now, Fettuccine is the only one alive on the enemy team. All right. So Pinecone actually surprisingly good here with the help of Parfait, so that you have the enchanted robe constantly or almost 90% of the time on our Pinecone. All right. That's very important. That is going to be the most important part here. All right, so there you guys go. So right there, look at the damage, guys. 12 million damage coming out from Pinecone just because of the fact that we have Enchanted Robe constantly on them. We have debuff immunity as well as the extra ice type damage, and just being able to also sometimes freeze the enemies. And also, if they are immune to stuns, then Pinecone's just going to do more damage. Alright guys, so this time around, it is going to be the triple DPS, it seems like, with Crimson Coral. So let's see how this one goes. Alright guys, so it is going to be a triple DPS, except they are going to be using a Frost Queen and Snow Sugar once again here. Parfait is going to be able to put that debuff immunity onto herself, as well as, Pinecone helping out with the, slowdown. Sadly, they do have a Snow Sugar, which makes, our Pinecone constantly take that Frost stack as well. And because of that slow, and because they have a triple DPS coming out from our their Golden Cheese, sadly, this time around, we're going to lose. All right, so the downside to having Pinecone is sometimes if they have a Snow Sugar or someone like Golden Cheese with a Crimson Coral or any of the cookies that are able to prevent these two from dying, you're going to be able to see that they actually do die off pretty quickly. One thing, they don't have extra damage resist that the enemy team has from something like the Whistle, as well as something like Crimson Coral's shield. So we don't have any of that. Yes, Frost Queen did quite some damage, but it's just not enough to burst them down. So just keep that in mind. It's pretty good. The comp is pretty good, but there are going to be, downsides as well, like this one right over here. All right, guys. So the conclusion that I have with Pinecone is they're viable. They can be used. Are they going to be absolutely broken and absolutely meta? Not really. They can be pretty darn good if used in the right situation with the right cookies against a right comp. However, when it comes to other Frost comps, especially where Snow Sugar just doesn't die, or you just have, cookies just bursting down the front line, or there's like someone like Sherbet who just kind of just melts your cookies, then yeah, you're going to have a harder time. Of course, this is not the only comp out there. If you guys do have a better Pinecone comp, please let me know, then I can make a follow-up video as well, and then of course credit you guys. But this is what I have for you guys right now. You guys can definitely try it out. Let me know how it goes for you. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to share with you guys. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.